Well, hello there, internet people. Another quick CPD video, part of my video diary series that I'm just kind of going through, producing some content every day. Opportunity for me to reflect and hopefully share something with you guys. Most of you are probably MFL teachers, but maybe you're just generally teachers. Maybe you're interested in language learning, and I hope you can pick up something interesting and useful. So the quick video today is taken again from Mr. Gianfranco Conti, Dr. Gianfranco Conti. This one is typically called Break the Flow. And as you can see, we've got one massive text with no spaces in it. So all I did was I took a transcript of text. It's fairly low prep. You can, my advice really to make this as quick as possible is to take your text, copy it into Microsoft Word, go on, click Control F, and then instead of find, you click on replace, and you can put in a space and then have no space, no text whatsoever in the replace button. And then you can click replace all. In an instant, it will get rid of all the spaces for you, saves you going through and fidgeting about with the keyboard, saves a lot of time. What I've done is I've chopped a bigger transcript into two slides, as you can see here. So we've got Industrialisierung Deutschland 1, Industrialisierung Deutschland 2. This is part of my ongoing project of teaching a fairly in-depth summary of Berlin's history from start to today, but creating it as a language learning resource, not just a history resource. So this is a pretty, this is one example of a resource, an activity that I have used with my sixth form this morning, and I was providing the audio. You can see here Industrielle Revolution. This gentleman here is Mirko from Mr. Wissen to Go, Geschichte, a really good German language history channel. So you could also maybe have him on in the background, his voice as an alternative. But I was speaking, and as I'm going through maybe the first and second repetition, I'm putting a bit of emphasis on the words, where they start, where they end. And the students, to save time, they have either a printout, but in our cases, they've all got touchscreen computers, Microsoft Surface Pros, and little styluses. So they just went through and put a line to separate the words, and I repeated 2-3 times. You'll also notice here, this is something that I just try and get my sixth form linguists to do by nature, by second nature, is in any text, they don't need to be told to go through and find the UDI, unfamiliar or known, difficult or interesting. So I'm not just saying words you don't know, I'm saying words that you might remember, but you're not quite, words you totally don't know, or words you just think are really interesting. Pick them out. Anything that your mind has noticed that's drawn your eye, write it down and get the translation, even if it's just a recap of a word you already know. And they're getting better at that. I don't need to remind them all the time, but I've just put that there so that when they've finished with their slide, there'll be a list here. And in the class, they put the lines in, and then for homework, they'll rewrite it out. And so you can see that there's 2 here. I think that's a great strategy. It was given to me by one of my heads of department as when we were brainstorming ways to make this an enjoyable language learning resource rather than a content-heavy, text-heavy history document. And the answers are here. You can see here that the font is yellow and the highlighting is yellow. And you can just turn the font color to black, put that on the screen at the front, and the students can kind of correct as they go. They look down, they look up, They can also, with a partner, have it there. It's self-led, as well, because they've got access to the PowerPoint. So I could give this as, some holiday work or work over the Christmas holidays, and provided I provided some audio, the videos there, they could do it by themselves, So great resource, flexible, really low prep in terms of there's the transcript. Provided that original text is correct, put it into Word, replace all the spaces with no spaces. In an instant, you've got a very compact text, and then you can copy that into a PowerPoint slide or make a worksheet with it. And it's great for the listening, because even with sixth formers, sometimes the eyes and the ears aren't yet working in total tandem. Where's the word end? Where's the word finish? Start? Where's the word finish? And as they're listening to that, you're just ticking so many boxes. You've got reading, you've got a little bit of writing in terms of recreating the text, you've got lots of listening input. And if you combine that with a partner speaking activity, the repetition there can actually be really useful. So I hope that helps. It's called Break the Flow. And very simply, you take a text and you remove the spaces, and then you can play around with it. So I hope that helps. It's worked really well as a nice little entry activity. In terms of kind of cognitive skills, it's not insignificant by any means, and it's not necessarily really easy, but it's not the same as recreate this, translate this, summarize this from memory. Sure, you understand this. It's quite a different. It's lower down, really. It's a lot easier to do this activity at the start of the lesson when we're recapping things. So I hope that helps. I hope that's of interest to you. Yeah, have a nice day. Bye-bye.